Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is AIDA MOHD. My matric number is 299047 and our group will be presenting on the case between Eng Chinga and his former employer. I will tell about the introduction and the overview of the case. As for the introduction, the case involved Eng Chinga, the former director and general manager, and his former employer, which is WV Services Malaysia Sdn Bhd, that based in Mid Valley City, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Eng Chinga act as a claimant, where WV Services Malaysia Sdn Bhd act as a respondent in this case. As for the nature of the business of WV Services Malaysia Sdn Bhd, they involve in organizing events, training, conference, and act as a personal development seminars organizers. Other than that, they are also doing direct sales of the travel club membership. Now, I will continue about the overview of the case. On 11 December 2015, Eng joined the company as a director, and 1 year later, he was appointed as a general manager on 1st May 2016. However, on 4 December 2024, he was terminated as a general manager but remained as a director without any pay and any wages. 1 year later, on 15 November 2021, he was reappointed back as a general manager, and once again, on 18 June 2022, he was dismissed from the company without any reason. During the industrial court proceeding, on 6 August 2024, the solicitors that represent the WV Services Malaysia Sdn Bhd withdrew from the case, as the company also failed to show up in the court to justify the dismissal. There are no defense and proof of guilty was submitted by the company to the court, and the court has ruled that the termination by the company was invalid. On 25th November 2024, the trial started, and 4 months later, on 3 March 2025, the KL Industrial Court has awarded Eng 1.3 million in compensation for the wrongful dismissal. And in this case, we can see that Eng Chinga win against his former employer and has awarded 1.3 million at the end.
Hello everyone, my name is NURUL binti MAHADI and my matric number is 298820. The employee involved is Eng Chinga. He claimed that his dismissal was unfair and unlawful because he was never informed of the reason for his termination. There was no explanation, no warning, and no opportunity given to him to defend himself. Eng further argued that the company had violated the principle of natural justice. This means he was not treated fairly before the decision to dismiss him was made. In addition, Eng claimed that the company had engaged in unfair labor practices and had victimized him. Another key issue in this case is the failure to pay wages. The company failed to pay Eng wages even though he remained as a director in 4 December 2020. This showed that the employee did not fulfill its legal obligation to compensate him for work done. In conclusion, Eng Chinga alleged that his dismissal lacked just cause or excuse, was procedurally unfair, and involved non-payment of wages. Thank you.
Solution for issue 1. First, provide clear reasons for dismissal. The company should have issued a written notice stating the grounds for dismissal, for example, misconduct, poor performance, and redundancy. Second, follow due process. Natural justice. Conduct a proper domestic inquiry, which is DI, before dismissal. Give Eng Chinga the opportunity to defend himself against allegation. Third, avoid victimization or unfair labor practices. Ensure dismissal is based on objective grounds, not personal bias or retaliation. Fourth, document evidence. Keep records of performance reviews, warning, or disciplinary actions to justify dismissal if challenged. Relevant acts or codes. First, Industrial Relations Act 1967, Section 20, which protects employees from dismissal without just cause or excuse. Second is Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony 1975, to emphasizes fair treatment, conciliation, and proper disciplinary procedures. Third is Common Law Principle of Natural Justice, which is right to be heard or right to be fair inquiry before termination.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is FATIHAH SUHADA binti Muhammad SIDI, matrix number 299041. I will be explaining about the solution for issues 2. Firstly, ensure timely payment of wages. The company should pay wages promptly to Eng Chinga as stated in the employment contract. Second, respect director entitlement. Even if Ang remained as the director, the company should clarify whether he was still an employee entitled to wages or only receiving director's fees. Third, comply with statutory requirements. The wages should be paid to Ang Chingai no later than the 7 days after the end of the wage period. And lastly, maintain proper payroll records. The company should have transparent documentation of salary, allowance, and deduction to avoid disputes. The relevant acts or codes for issues 2 are Employment Act 1955, which is require employers to pay wages not later than 7 days after the wages period. Second, Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony 1975 to encourage fair remuneration practices and respect for contractual obligations. Lastly, Common Law Duty of Employer, which is obligation to pay agreed wages for work performed.
Hello, my name is NURDAYANA BALKIS binti JASMADI, matric number 299069. And for the conclusion, this assignment has revealed that the industrial relation dispute between Ang Chinggik and WV Service Malaysian Sdn Berhad, which mainly involved two key issues. First, dismissal without just cause or an excuse, and second, the failure to pay wage. To provide context, Ang employment history and the company background were given. Based on the analysis, it showed that the company has failed to observe the principle of natural justice. Ang was dismissed without any valid reason, no domestic inquiry was conducted, and he was not given an opportunity to defend himself. This action clearly demonstrates unfair labor practice by the employer. In addition, the company failed to pay Ang his wage even though he continued to hold the position of director. This further reflects the employer failure to meet its legal and contractual obligation. Relevant laws such as the Industrial Relations Act 1967 and the Employment Act 1955, the Code of Conduct for Industrial Harmony 1975, and common law principles were applied to support this research. Therefore, the Industrial Court decision highlights the importance of fair dismissal procedure, proper record keeping or documentation, and compliance with wage law to ensure peaceful and harmonious industrial relations.